Alright guys, how's it going? It is Monday the 26th of February 2018 and you're watching KopTalk.tv. How's it going? You alright? Yeah. Decent result at the weekend and that. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Not talking about that because it's past. I'm going to go through the comments because I did say that I would do a comments video, my next video. As you can see, I didn't go to England. I stayed. I didn't go. I was going to go. I had a flight booked on Thursday last week, if you recall, but I stayed. All right, things are all right. So yeah, all right. So it's good. We've got quite a few topics that I want to discuss this week. Really, I'm going to do this video, and then I must go and do some DKB.TV content for those who support me. Great people, to be honest. They're never on my case, and they never moan or anything. So that's really good. And I'm also going to do an extra time podcast today. If anybody's interested in that, just go to KopTalkPodcast.com. All right. So we'll take a look at the comments. This is the worst thing about wearing black and under here. You know what I mean? These lights and this really good camera. It picks up everything. I've got a face for radio, haven't I? Yeah. So I want to deal with. I want to go through the comments video and get that out of the way. So it's probably going to be a long video. Knowing me. My short videos are about an hour long, so grab some popcorn and let's see what we've got here. It might be a bit boring because I'm only replying to, it's just there could be random comments or whatever. So Mr. Liam03 says, can we do a video on why Liverpool fans don't buy the Sun? I don't think we need to do a video on that, because I think is that not, there's plenty of information out there as to that. I don't know your age, you see. So, like, most people would assume that you should know that and understand that and everything. But obviously, I don't know your age. If you're a young kid or something, you might not know. A young lad, a lass, whatever. You just say Mister. All right. So, my opinion would be that you Google Sun boycott, and if that or Sun boycott Liverpool or whatever, and you'll find everything that you would need to read, because it's better to read, proper information about it than try and fit it into a video. I think, and I think it would be a bit upsetting, a bit of a topic that I don't think I'd really like to talk about. It just brings me down. Stuff like that brings me down. Obviously, it brings everyone down. But I'm such like, I think you guys know my moods can be a bit, So I think we need to try and be a bit more positive at the moment. But seriously though, I would just Google. Liverpool boycott Sun or whatever, and then you'll get your information. Because if you are, a younger person or something and you don't understand it all, I think that that will help you. Jay Garrigan says he thinks we should talk about John Henry's comments. I'm not sure which comments you mean. I did see some the other day, but I forgot. My head's been all over the place last week. I've had a terrible week. In fact, there was a link in here somewhere, but I don't know where it is now. I had a dreadful week. I wasn't really interested in what he had to say. I mean, if someone wants to flag that up to me, we can do that. SM92 says it's surprisingly normal there's something going wrong at Liverpool. If it's not the owners, it's the results or the lack of signings or the CEO or the goalkeeper. But all is well. And as far as ideas are concerned, talk about Naby Keita and our midfield. What would you like to talk about Naby Keita then? He's going to be the main man, isn't he? I'm really excited about him coming in. We do talk about the midfield quite often. We've seen a few, I don't know if you've seen, a few links the last couple of days about holding midfielders, more defensive midfielders. Obviously, Emre Can, people expect him to go to Juventus following all the speculation. Regarding his future, and he keeps making out that he could possibly still sign a contract, etc. Did a news article today on KopTalk.com about this Bournemouth midfielder Lewis Cook, who's been considered as a potential replacement for Emre Can. He's 21 years old. He's an England under-21 international. Says he's been scouted by the Reds. Used to play for Leeds United. Was a member of the England under-17 team that won the 2014 UEFA European Under-17 Championship. Also captained England to success at the 2017 FIFA Under-20 World Cup, and became the first England captain to lift a world trophy since Bobby Moore. He was named in the senior England squad for the first time for a friendly in Brazil in November. of last year, and he's, it's a name that's doing the rounds today as possibly a replacement for Emre. The thing is with the boy that's coming in, very excited about that. There's a lot of hype around him. I just hope it goes all right. My feelings on Jordan Henderson. I do like Jordan Henderson as a player, but sometimes I think he slows down the play. I think he passes short a lot and backwards and stuff like that. But do you know what I mean? I still like the kid, and I think there's people would argue, the statistics that suggest that he's not all about that kind of gameplay. And that he's not as bad as people think. And to be honest, I've seen him in a couple of games recently where he's been outstanding, but I'm just not convinced. I'm just not convinced. Do you know what I mean? Especially as a captain. But there you go. But I think he's a player that you'd want to hold on to. But I'm not sure if that he could be finding his position a bit more challenged. I think in the near future in midfield. I don't know what you guys think. LJ Kopas, is that right? Hey Dunk, would love to see a video of how you see next season panning out for LFC. I personally have a really good feeling about next season as long as we can hold on to our top players and barring injuries, etc. On a personal note, Dunk, seriously, your vids are the highlight of my week. You are great at what you do and always make me laugh. Well, we try to laugh, don't we, mate? I think you should have your own late night slot on LFC TV. I don't think they'd touch me with a barge pole, to be honest. And I'd never do anything for anyone, honestly. I'm a lone wolf, mate. I don't want to work for a living. Take as much time as you need, and I'm sure we'll all be looking forward to your return. Lots of support, mate. All the best. That's nice, mate. Thank you. Yeah, I had a bad week last week. Real bad. And, that's all, looking up and sorted, I think. And, my son-in-law's, he had his chemo as well last week. Another round of chemo, which is, family and my daughter, and I want to make everything right, and do you know what I mean? And I can't. It's powerless. It's very difficult as a parent, and that thrown in with everything else is just too much for me at the moment. But I'm all right. But thank you very much for your comment. Jackson Birmingham says, looking shattered, mate. Hope you're all right. All I can say is life is ups and downs. Next minute you're over the moon. All of a sudden something can break your heart. It's so true. And that's where the choice is, not from a lack of heart, as shattered as you can be. You have to always forge ahead and be positive. My aunt passed away last week at 57, and I know she would tell me to do what I want and go as hard as I can to achieve it. Well, she sounded like a very bright woman. And 57 is no fucking age. I lost my mum at, fucking hell, mid-50s. I think she was 54 when she went in hospital. So 55, I don't even know. I don't even want to think about it. But terrible age. You're allowed to be upset, but use that negative as a fire to push you along through life in a positive way. I'm really sorry to hear about your auntie, mate. It's shit. All of us, every single one of us on here, me, you, every other guy that watches or whatever, we all have shit. I'm no different to anyone else. We're all the same. We all have shit, don't we, in our families and everything. And that's why we look to football to take us away from that, I think, as an escape and a release. And I've always believed that, about people that go to the game on a weekend. And it's going to the game on a weekend can take you away from all the problems you've got in your life. That's why we have to try and keep it positive. That's why I'm always so desperate for the club to do well for everybody, because I really think that it makes a difference. I mean, when my mum was in hospital, I took my son to the game and we escaped from, my mum was in hospital for 8 months and we escaped for 3-4 hours or 5 hours, whatever it took for us to get there and back, and the match itself. And you don't forget about the shit that's going on in your life. But even my mum was like, "Get yourself there, you two, go to the game, chill out for a little." But you can't enjoy yourself. Like, I'm not trying to dismiss the things in life. It doesn't get rid of everything. But to a lot of people, maybe when it's not serious things like health things, maybe it's just like, a bit of money problems or relationship problems or whatever. You can escape just that little bit, and I think that's a really good thing about football. It gives you something to get stuck into and keep your mind occupied, and that's why we've got to try and stay clear of negativity. And it's been very difficult over the last few years, especially with these owners. But when Liverpool up there, dropping up and down from second, third, or whatever, you're finding it hard, aren't you, to criticise, and I'm still seeing people that are going mental about them. And of course, yes, if we had a bit more investment, maybe we'd be top. But how do you compete with Manchester City and the likes at the moment? So based on what we're doing, we're not doing too bad. So I think we need to try and keep it positive. So anyway, you'll never walk alone, but then keep your chin up. Paul Lee says, is it wrong for Liverpool supporters to listen to Sport Talk? He means Talk Sport radio station. I sometimes have it on in the background when potting in the kitchen, but it's sponsored by the Sun, I think. I know a presenter left because of an Irish guy, Colin Murray, who is a Liverpool fan. Can't remember his surname. Should I stop listening? SM92 says, Paul Lee, it is, to be honest, as a Liverpool supporter, I wouldn't. You are, however, entitled to do as you please. I mean, they are sponsored, not owned by the Sun. And then Paul says, yeah, I'm going to stop listening to Sun. We're very shimmy over Hillsborough. Thanks for advice. Now, the thing is here, there's a lot of people say that Talk Sport's owned by the Sun and the sponsor and all that. I listen to Talk Sport every single day, almost. When I say every single day, I mean while I'm in my office in here. Just now, I've just closed it down to record this video. And I have never, when I listen to particular shows on there, I've never heard the Sun mentioned. So if there is some sort of sponsorship, it's low key. But you've got to remember that Sky Sports show adverts by the Sun, you know, and stuff like that. It's from what I understand, the parent, you know, the companies above TalkSport own the same sort of thing, are all connected above there, if that makes sense. So the Sun does not own TalkSport, if that makes sense. And there was people that I think Stan Collymore even left TalkSport, and then, you know, people would, I think he would say that he left because of, you know, this takeover deal recently. I mean, if you want me to do a video about it all, I can, you know, to go into it all properly, because I can't remember all the ins and outs. But a lot of people said no, it's because you weren't offered a contract, you know. And it's just, you know, there's Liverpool related people will go on there. You know, Didi Haman's on there, Danny Murphy. I think you hear people like Ray Houghton, various Liverpool players, you know, that many of us grew up with are on there. I listen to the two mics, which again is a controversial thing, because I believe, you know, one of them had a bit of a clash with a Liverpool fan last year over Heysel and things like that. But, you know, when you're getting abused and someone says something and you bite back, I don't know, just because you listen to someone or something doesn't mean that you endorse their opinions. And I just think everyone's entitled to, you know, to fuck up occasionally. I've done it plenty of times over the years with KopTalk, that is for sure. But no, you know, and if anyone told me to stop listening, I'd just tell them to mind the business, because I listen to what I want. And you know, I'd rather give you the full facts of the ownership, but I do believe that, you know, the boycott is the Sun newspaper. It isn't the you know, the other newspapers within that group. It isn't Sky Sports, you know, Murdoch with his Sky Sports empire and all that, Sky Empire, Sky TV, sorry. People don't boycott Sky Sports because of the association to that group. Do you understand? So it's a similar sort of thing. That's how I see it. So, you know, and I mean, at the end of the day, if you want to read the Sun newspaper, what does that say about you anyway, even if you're not a Liverpool fan? It's a dreadful newspaper. It's not, it always gets everyone's backs up, doesn't it? You know, they always seem to be at war with people like, you know, they've got history of at war with the various workers and things like, you know, the firemen and that, but that was decades ago, I don't know. I've always been a Mirror man, mate, Mirror newspaper. I've read that since I was a kid. But I try to avoid the politics now, you know, because it's obviously a Labour paper, and I've been a Labour man all my life, really, you know, since I was a young lad, because my grandparents, you know, were from that, you know, anti-Thatcher, Labour supporting history, and, you know, you sort of come through it. Labour Party member all my life, and even canvassed for the Labour Party back around 97 or something like that, I think it was, when Blair won. But today, the Labour Party, I don't find myself very much associated to it, because it's gone too left for me. There's a lot of fucking loons and that, do you know what I mean? So I still like my Mirror newspaper, but I try to skip the politics and just stick to the sport. The Mirror is a fantastic newspaper for Liverpool, in my opinion. And what I mean by that is you get by the opinion pieces and the people that, you know, people like Brian Reid, you know, that contribute. So I think that the Mirror's a paper that I would recommend for people. But it depends, you know. Some people like the seriousness of newspapers, like the Times, and there's some good, you know, we've got some good Liverpool journals that are scattered around the different newspapers. So I think you have to, excuse me, I'm spitting. You know, you have to look at all the newspapers. You have to look at all the newspapers, excluding that one. I've never seen anything in there. You see it, you know, from my job, I monitor everything online, and I see what people are posting. And when you read the gossip columns, it'll put a little, you know, paragraph in, and it'll say by the Sun or whatever. And I've never seen anything like groundbreaking, like in terms of transfer claims or news that are made from them that are credible, if that makes sense. That are ever like, oh right, is that going to happen then? Do you know what I mean by that? So, but there you go. So personally, no, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Some people will have different opinions because they're really hardcore, and you know, people think that it's owned by that. But like I say, I've listened to that station for a long time for the football element, and I've never heard that mentioned. So maybe I've just been lucky. All right. So, but I think some people would disagree with me, but that's up to them. Martin Mason, he's a good kid. He says, I think personal life is more than LFC, pal. Whatever it is seems to be playing on your mind. My view is all followers will still be here when you're back. All the best done. Thanks, Martin. Oh, everything's all right, mate. Well, it's just a bit difficult at the minute, you know what I mean? But I'm feeling a bit more upbeat this week, and I've been under a lot of pressure, without a doubt, from all sorts. And I find my enjoyment and what gets me through life is you guys. It really does. I love making the videos for you guys, and it's fantastic. Fantastic, as Brendan Rodgers would say. So let's see. Oh dear me, I'm starting my lifestyle change again today, guys. I am, honestly. The good thing about stress and worry is I lost a couple of kilos last week. I know I don't look like it, but you know, when I was doing the lifestyle change earlier in the year, I'm only a couple of kilos up from my best point, so I can piss that off easy. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna get me. I've just texted my hairdresser for an haircut. Shall we see if she's replied? Thursday. What do you reckon, guys? That'll do. Perfect. Thank you. There we go. There you go. You don't see Gary Lineker doing that when he's up match it there, do you? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so, you know, you have to keep an eye. You have to let me know. You got to keep on my case, guys. You got to say, come on, Chubbs, make sure you're, you know, being good during the week. Because, you know, 5 days I try to be good. Saturday, Sunday, I'll do what I fucking want. You know what I'm saying? But I've got to do it. You know, I've got to do it. As you know, I've got to do it. So thanks for that, Martin. Andrew Holloway, another fantastic kid. I know this lad. He's talking about Naby Keita's unbelievable stats in recent weeks and his injury. And I hope you're okay. Don't think of you, mate. He's a good kid. I like Andrew. I really do. I haven't seen his stats, and I'm not too concerned about things relating to him. It's really weird because over the last few months, I haven't really paid attention to a lot of things that I should be paying attention to. I haven't been, you know, I don't know how to explain. I've lost my routine. You know, I've lost my routine. I would normally, like, on a Monday, say, I would look to see how that kid's done at the weekend and stuff like that and other things. So I'm just trying to get back into it all again, really. And maybe we should do a video about that. I don't know this, because if you didn't know, the last video I was asking people for ideas. This is what the comments are about. So this will give me something to talk about. Naveen Kaushal, I know that name as well. Future direction of LFC. What do we need to compete against City? Finances, stadium, etc. Now, somebody mentioned in the comment above about how we see next season panning out for Liverpool. That was LJ Kopas. And you've got to be honest, guys. Right now, you must be feeling positive about just about everything generally. You must be. I am. I'm really, really positive. The problem is we've been here before. You know, we've been here before and we think that everything's going to be all right, and then something stupid happens. You know, but I'm feeling really positive about things. And I don't know. Is Klopp finally getting it? You know, because sometimes, you know, we've all gone, haven't we? What's he thinking? Like, you know, what's this? What's that? Next season could be great. We have to be realistic, though, don't we? Against, you know, we haven't got owners that can compete with Manchester City. We just haven't. Would I prefer that we did? Yeah, of course I would. But to be where we are, based on what we're doing, it is still positive. You know, there's many teams in that division, and teams that you would consider big or whatever, big clubs, that would like to be in our position. So we've just got to keep going at it, and hopefully with a couple of additions to the squad, you know, in the summer we could build on it. And I mean, I feel so like upbeat. The last time I felt like this was when we were like chasing for the title under Brendan Rodgers with Luis Suarez and that. But I don't know. There just seems like a good vibe around at the moment. I did hear a rumour concerning the ownership, the owners. Well, I was approached by someone that is what you would consider a contact, you know, like an insider and all that. And he asked me about something if I'd heard something. So therefore, he was presenting something to me, and he was like, "Have you heard this?" And I was like, "Nah, I'm no Twitter ITK, mate." You know, and it sounded like it's the sort of thing that I would, you know, people that don't like FSG, I guess, would really like to be true. I can't talk about it because I was told not to. But it's still, you know, how can you explain? At the minute, I'm like not really focused on the owners. I'm really focused on our, you know, our league position and what we're doing in the Champions League, and we mustn't be, you know, too disheartened if something goes wrong somewhere. And I think we've got to look at it and go, we are progressing. And I've heard people say we've been progressing for years. You know, you will get those snowflakes. You will get those people that will not offer any criticism. But I actually really do believe, guys, that I actually really, excuse me, that guy will be kicking off. You know, the one that always complains when I burp. What am I supposed to do? You know what I mean? You don't think I'm going to edit a video, do you? I actually really believe it when I say it. So when I say things are looking positive and I'm feeling good and all that shit about the team and the club, then you know, I fucking mean it. You know, so I'm fucking right up for it at the minute, mate, man. But anyway, so Naveen, he was saying, you know, what do we need to compete against City? Finances in a stadium. So they ain't going to do anything. They're not going to build a new stadium, are they? We should have had a new stadium, and most people would agree with that because they're, you know, they want to be, you know, historic and stuff. But I don't think it's just about. You know, like I don't think it's just about building a new stadium. I think about the fans. I think you've also got to have all these excellent corporate facilities and media facilities and other things that you can do with a stadium. And that, but as things stand, you know, they've increased that main stand, and you know, talk of redeveloping other areas and stuff. And you know, I don't know. I know people will argue that it's all for their benefit, and I'm sure it is. But I don't think we can compete against City unless we have the money, and that would involve other owners. And people often think that when people say, "Oh, I think, you know, we need, you know, we would prefer other owners for more money," the next thing they come back is, "Well, I don't want us to be throwing around hundreds." I get all that. I'm not that. And my biggest complaint with the existing owners is the lack of enthusiasm that is shown, the lack of attendance. You know, we know now that Linda is officially part of FSG now because she's got some shares in them. You know, I'd rather see her as chairman. I don't know which is the correct term. I'd rather see her because she puts in more effort socially, you know, on social media. Whether it's genuine or not, I don't know. Maybe some people consider it patronising, but I'd rather be patronised than have nothing. Honestly, seriously. And I actually think she's genuine. I think she's genuine. I also think she's a troll when she goes on about clean sheets and that. Hooray, you don't get no clean sheets with me, Linda. Only because I shit myself when I'm pissed. No, I don't, guys. You see that reference there I made to Linda and clean sheets is something that she talks about on Twitter, and me being the typical fucking, you know, dinosaur of a man had to turn that into something else. You know what I mean? Like, I would now be sacked if I worked for the BBC or something, wouldn't I? You know, for daring to go down that line. You know what I'm saying? This is the freedom of the internet. You say what you want. But I don't mean any offence. You've got to have a personality and a bit of sense of humour, I think. But my sense of humour gets me into trouble sometimes, and I'm trying to change my direction, guys. All right. Nathan Devonport says, "I think Dunk is a legend." Discuss. Yeah, fucking too right, Nathan. Yeah, legend more like. But I'd like to do more. I want to do, you know, full-time vids if I can get another iMac. I do have a GoFundMe now. The link's in the video description. But I think that's going to be, you know, you don't want to know all that. That's something that I'd like to do, is go full-time with the videos. Yeah, I mean, like churning out 10, 12 videos a day. Yeah, I fucking love this shit. But yeah, Nathan, I agree. Chris Atkins, hope things get a bit better onwards and upwards. YNWA. Same sort of thing from Fucknius. Fuck noise. All you need to remember is it's all about you. You need to look after you and your family needs. The rest will sort itself out. Take care, mate. Yeah. I know, mate. It was a bad week last week, wasn't it? Thank you. Same from Movie Geek 1977. Take care of yourself. Don't everything works out regarding family and stuff. All the best, matey. Thank you. I'm not being dismissive of your comment. I just don't want everyone to get bored, and I don't want to be a victim. You know what I'm saying? Sailing Buggy says, I want to talk about Emre fucking Can. How the fuck can he leave us when we're on the build of a great team and would be part of it? About to be able to challenge for the league and quarter-final minimum of the CL, more than likely better than Juve, and he's going to leave for nothing. At the very least, the fucker could sign a contract on the promise LFC would sell him to Juve, at least allowing LFC to get something for him. LFC has made him what he is. He was a nobody before Liverpool. The least he could do is give something back. I'm really pissed at the greedy bastard. If we had other options, I would play him with under 23s for the rest of the season. Oh, what do you think about that, guys? What is your views on Emre Can? What are you thinking? Are you fuming with him like he is? Yeah, we talk about Emre Can occasionally on here, and we'll say, you know, I'll say the same things. I'll say, you know, he's 1 minute he comes across, and I think, fuck me, he could be a captain of the team. He could be a legend. He could. Not he is. He is. He is. His, you know, and you know, it's just, I don't know. The only thing is, you've got to look at the way someone's relationship is. If he feels like he hasn't got a great relationship with the ownership, the management, should I say, maybe that's part of it. I don't know. I'm not sure it is about money. You know, I think that there's some people in the local media have tried to suggest that it's about money and greed, etc. But I think they try to, you know, back up the club on certain things. But I can't weigh them up. The biggest thing there, Sailing Bug, I don't know what your name is. You know, just you Christian name or whatever your real name is. It just seems a bit weird calling you Sailing Bug. The biggest thing that I find with people when we talk about Emre Can is, it's not the end of the world if he goes. And I think that's what I think every single person that's watching this video that is actually listening to this tripe will say, so it's not exactly a big fucking miss, is it? And that's just how it feels to me. And I agree with you. You know, if someone don't want to play for the club, fuck them. Simple as that. Dean Coates. Hey Dunk, you've just been on TV in England again. There's a programme on celebrating 10 years of the comedy Benidorm, and it's just shown you in that eating competition again. LOL. that eating competition was called Hombre versus Food, and as you know, I fucking won it. The hog, yeah, the big hog thing, yeah. My best friend is the writer and creator of Benidorm, and whenever they need a large man, all the extras are fucking large. But I wasn't an extra, I was a featured artist. Yeah, there's a difference, there's a fucking difference. That means you get an umbrella over your head in between shots and that, you know, look after you and that, and you know what I mean, you join in with you attend the lunch and things with the main actors and that, not penned off, you know what I mean, with the extras and that. But there's nothing wrong with the extras, you know what I'm saying. Good people all around. It's a great show, I've enjoyed it, and you know, we've had some laughs with it. Some really, really good laughs, and obviously the next series of Benidorm is about to start, and that's why they did the 10 years of Benidorm, and the chap in the mobility scooter that was going through it with the camera was my friend Darren, and I'm sure you know that. But yeah, I did see that I cropped up in that programme, so I was quite chuffed about that. They had the not a reunion, they had a big do for that, you know, in London recently, celebrating the 10 years and next year and all that. But I was unable to attend, unfortunately. But yeah, it's good fun, mate. Good fun. I think I've been in it 3 or 4 times now. A couple of parts in it, but that career is not for me. You have to be down there like at 6:30 in the morning. You don't leave till 7 at night. Fuck that shit, man. Anyway, Dean also says, do you think we have any chance of winning the Champions League? And if we were to face Barcelona, do you think we could do them over? Fuck too right, yeah. I do think so. Yeah, I think we can win it, and I think we can beat anyone. I really do believe that. But we can also lose to anyone, including the poorer sides. That's what we've become used to as Liverpool fans, I think, don't you? I had this conversation last night with someone. I said, you know, Liverpool can win the Champions League. Liverpool can win the Champions League. But the thing is, you have to beat the very best to win the Champions League. And the reason I was discussing that was because I was talking about the League Cup final. You know, how clubs don't take it seriously anymore. The big clubs, you know, they're ignorant towards it. Oh, when that fucking final comes round, they want to deploy, you know, decent teams because they want the trophy. Then it becomes important then. And to me, sometimes I think, fuck me, you know, we can't win the Champions League and the Premier League, you know, each year or whatever. Only one team can win it, and only one team can win the other cups. I get that. But sometimes I think, can you imagine if we just went a bit more serious with these competitions? We'd be stacking silverware up left, right and centre. But the problem is it's all about this now, isn't it? It's not about like what Bill Shankly would say. It's about, you know, existing to win trophies. It's about this now. And that's sad. That's really, really fucking sad. So I want the TV deals to burst, that bubble, that money in the game. I want that bubble to burst, you know, and I want to see some sort of, you know, I don't know what I want. I get pissed off because when we play a league game, a League Cup tie, right, or an FA Cup tie, I take that just as important as a fucking Champions League tie. I fucking do, guys. I really, really do. And to be honest, I prefer seeing us, you know, I like seeing the atmosphere of these smaller clubs, you know, and the down the division. It reminds me of the old school game. And I like that shit. And I like watching the FA Cup. You know, it's shit that it gets devalued. And I know someone said in the comments the other day, and they often say, I've got a thing on my eye, I don't know what that is. You know, Manchester United devalued it. Was it back around 1999 or something like that when they were given permission to pull out? Yeah, that was shit, but that was one incident, you know, and it was the wrong thing. You know, again, that was the start of the fucking money and shit. Fuck. Well, it wasn't the start, but it was money, and the decision based on money and all that wank. So, no, anyway, going back to your thing, yeah, we can win the Champions League. Of course we can, but obviously, you know, we can also lose to teams that we should beat. But I can honestly say, normally normally I'd be like, fucking no chance. But I actually think, yeah, we could. Well, I would love to know if you guys think so. Joe Henshaw says, new TV deal would be interesting, and the owner's response to it being lower than expected. That's right, the new TV deal did come out recently. I think there's still some part of it to be finalised. But it is down, and it is, I think Sky get a couple of extra games in one of the packages. But I think it's the international TV deal that is what FSG are more in. That's what people keep telling me, and I haven't seen if there's anything resolved with that or when it will be resolved. Also, Nick follows up on that, Nick Deaton, and he says, take care of yourself, everything is okay, hope your son-in-law is getting better. He's doing the best he can, Nick. Cheers, buddy. He's got a fight on as the boy, and it's fucking incredibly difficult to watch and to know about. Every day I'm messaging my daughter, how is he? And it's just the same answer all the time, but I've still got to ask. It's fucking shit. Especially when they've got my grandson. I've got one grandchild, and I want my grandson to have his dad. His dad's more important than me. You know. I don't want that little. I seen a picture like when he come out of hospital the other day, and he's holding my little grandson, and it's him and his dad, innit? You know what I mean? It's like I want them to be around in 20, 30, 40 years, 50 years. I'd give my life up now to enable that to happen. It just pisses me off. But thanks for asking after him, Nick. He says, when you get time, maybe a vid on the TV rights money. You know, we should maybe do a video on the TV rights, because this is something that I've been talking about. I'm going to write it on my pad. I should maybe look into... get up to date with it. I've wrote on my pad here. I have a pad with notes for things that I want to talk about on videos, and my podcasts and etc. And for some reason, I've wrote some numbers down. I have no idea what they mean. I've put 18044. Now I've got a feeling that it was a 3 and not an 8. And that I've then tried to disguise the 3 into an 8, if that makes sense, because I wouldn't write an 8 like that. The fuck was that about? Oh, and the 4s don't look like normal 4s, so I think they were number 1s. So what would that be then? 13011. 13011. What the fuck does that mean? Does that make sense? Write on a piece of paper now, right? 13011. Then I change the 3 into an 8 and the 2 1s into 4s. Why was I trying to hide the number 13011? I'll never know. To the left of that, in a big circle, it says Salah. That's it, circled. So I've got a big circle with Salah in. I can't lift the pad up and show you because it's got other things on as well. So it's got a big, if you can imagine it, I've got a big circle and it says Salah in it, right? So I've wrote Salah and drawn a circle around it. Massive, about that big, right? And then to the right of it, I've drawn a box. Exactly the same size, and I've put 13011 and changed it to 18044. Fucking hell, man. Is this the best video you've ever watched? It's like watching the fucking X-Files, isn't it? We'll never know. It's not a pin number. 13011. Is that a date? No, it's not a date. Oh, it could be. No, it isn't. No. I'd be fucked if I know. Well, at least I've wrote TV rights down. I can understand that, can't I? So yeah, maybe we should do that. Chris saying hope things pick up. Cheers, Chris. Right. Anthony Harris. Oh, God, here we go. This is a big one. I suppose quarterfinals of the Champions League. Who would you like to see come out of the hat and who do you want to avoid? I don't care, me. I don't care. Honestly. There's glamour ties and stuff like that. Sometimes I think, well, you know, you've got to beat them. I'd rather beat them. I don't know. Sometimes I think if you beat them earlier on, they're out of the way. You know, you've got nothing to worry about, rather than meeting them in a final. But then if you win them in a final, you can always add that bit. Can't you say, oh, we beat such and such in the final as well? Makes it 10 times more important. And if you lose, you can say, well, we lost to, you know, one of the best teams in the world, like, you know. So no, I don't honestly. When it comes to draws and things like that, obviously, you know, earlier on, I tend to want, you know, to avoid the big clubs. You know, and seeding and stuff affects us, but you want to, don't you? Especially, you know, even in competition like the FA Cup, you know, it's like I want to get a chance of it, I want to get some sort of progress with it. But no, I'm honestly like this stage and stuff like this. Nah, just fucking bring them on. For me, the one club I would like to avoid is Real /Madrid/PSG. There could be 5 English clubs in the quarterfinals, and I don't think we should be too upset if we draw any of them. I would pretty much prefer to avoid Man City and would love to draw Man United. The only downside is that losing to Man United would be a bitter pill to swallow, but beating them would be even fucking better. I would have said I wanted to avoid Barca, but if we come out of the app first, meaning I think the second leg is at Anfield, it would be an incredible atmosphere. I know Barca used to big crowds and playing El Clasico or whatever, El Clasico. I'm not sure what the team think, but I do believe the majority of Anfield fans are totally pissed off with Barca, and not since the Christians were fed to the Lions back in olden days would there have been such an hostile atmosphere. I like this comment, man. The same as Man United, of course, losing is not worth contemplating. I have an inkling Juventus will come away from Wembley with something, and that would be a great tie. I would prefer to be drawn against Roma or Shakhtar. What does everyone else think? Finally, I do realise that we're not in the quarterfinals yet, but the final time Liverpool lost. But the last time, quarter final quite yet. But the last time Liverpool lost 6-0 at Anfield was against Sunderland in 1930. This Anthony posted this 5 days ago, guys. All right. I don't know. I'm feeling fucking. I think we can do anyone. Is there a team right now that? I mean, yeah, of course there's a team, right? I'm not going to mention teams. I mean, obviously, if you were to play someone like Barcelona, Madrid, PSG, you know, all these clubs or whatever that people would expect to put in a good thing. Yes, of course, you go into them games and you're a little bit like, well, this is going to be difficult. But I don't feel, as it is under Klopp, I actually at the moment don't fear anyone. I swear to God. Now, a few years back, right, we used to, when I was in my teens and the 20s or whatever, growing up, I used to think, well, not that I've ever grown up, I've grown out, I've not grown up. I used to think, you know, there'd be certain, say you were playing Arsenal at weekend, I used to think, Arsenal, yeah, we'll take it to them, fuck them, not bothered about them, right? And then as you got older, a bit more older, it used to become like, you know, maybe Arsenal might be a bit difficult, you know, I'd rather swerve that right now. because Arsenal obviously became very dominant for a while, and you know, you get a bit squeaky bum and stuff like that. But now, if it's a Premier League, we played Man City, I couldn't give a fuck if we play Man City. Honestly, that's how I feel at the moment. I get more bothered about playing the smaller clubs than that. Seriously, I genuinely do. I genuinely do. So anyway, Anthony wants to know what you guys think of his comments. So his thread's in there, his comments in there under the video. Let's talk. If you want to reply to him, failing that, reply under this. It probably make more sense to reply under this and put, "Hey Anthony, all right, thank you for your comment, mate." Fucking hell, Lukumu851. One thing that's always annoyed me is all this talk about the Ballon d'Or, or the Balloon d'Or, as I like to call it. So many people talking about it like it's big in the Champions League. Will Neymar win the Ballon d'Or if PSG win the Champions League? Or will Ronaldo or Messi win it this year? Like, why do people give a fuck? Football is a team game. All these individual awards are wank. If Salah wins the Balloon d'Or, then fair play to him, but it's not that big of a deal. I guess it's a big deal to the player. But like you said to me, I couldn't give a fuck. Nothing like that's ever interested me. You know when you see all these award things come out and they go, "Oh, such and such has won the Balloon d'Or," or anything on any level, even Player of the Month or whatever, Manager of the Month, that fuck shit means nothing to me, man. I couldn't give a toss. So I agree with you. I just need to check my phone, guys. Right, my mate Rob is fantastic. He's Rob. He's a designer, and we're working on a project together. He's messaged me, so I'll get back to him soon. I'm just gonna keep checking my phone. I try to turn off the comments, you know, like so they don't flash up on my screen when I'm doing the vids because they distract me. And sometimes, like, I don't know if you notice, I look in the corner like that and I'll read it and I'm like, cheeky bastard. You know what I mean, guys? So I get my phone and I put it face down as well. So what we were ranting about? Oh yeah, these fucking awards, man. How long is this video now? People are gonna like this video, I think. So yeah, Lukumu. I was going to say something then, but it could, you know, some people say that's racist. You can't have a fucking joke anymore. I was going to say it sounds like something like a Tarzan movie, something like that. Hey, Lukumu. You can't say that. I'm not think you can say them things anymore, can you, guys? You can't say fucking anything today. Do you know? Oh, I've left me fucking newspaper in there. Well, it's not my newspaper. It's my Mirror newspaper on my iPad. When I say in there, I mean on Chitter. That's the only time I get fucking to read something. Do you know what I mean? Is when I'm having a pony. Right, Jay Mowbray, thank you for that, Lukumu. Thank you for that, mate. Jay Mowbray, do a video on progression of the club where you think we will be in the next few years and what you think about Champions League and Europe's best front three, Dunk. Where you think we will be in the next few years? Where do you reckon we'll be in the next three? I think we're going to win some silverware. I think we're going to win some major silverware. I'd be very surprised if we do. I've got to be. I'm getting a bit itchy. I'd be very surprised if we do. I'm feeling fucking good, man. Honestly, if we find ourselves back here in a couple of weeks or months or whatever, you know how quick it turns in football, the mood, right? Especially concerning Liverpool. I'd be devastated, guys. Wouldn't you? If we suddenly, like, in a few weeks now, going, "Well, we're back to square fucking one." I can't be doing with it, Jay. Honestly. And what you think about Champions League and Europe's best front three, Dunk? Spencer Fernando Lebotse. I talk about how Liverpool can win the Champions League and get top two would be interesting. I don't know, Spencer, man. I mean, like, I don't know if that's interesting because the only way that's going to achieve is if we smash everyone that's deployed in front of us. That's it. Do you know what I mean? And you know, if we finish second in the Premier League this year, man, that'll be a massive achievement for us. Massive. I mean, massive. Starting to sound like Kevin Keegan, aren't it? It would be massive. Champions League, obviously, if we won it, it'd be incredible, but we just don't know. It's just a bit of luck and see what happens. We just got to keep the faith, I think, Spencer. But I don't know about you guys. I mean, winning the Champions League would be amazing, right? But that's something that, like, I'm just like, you know, well, we'll see how it goes. I don't even think about that. But finishing second in the Premier League, holy shit, man! If we did that this season, wow. I mean, that would be... yes, winning the Champions League would be amazing, but I'm not thinking about that. Right? I'm not thinking about that. I'm not dismissing that. I'm just like... No, just leave that, let it do its thing. But second in the Premier League, fuck me, man, that'd be cool. I must apologise as well when I swear in my videos. There's some people that watch my videos that are not into football at all, and you're probably thinking, well, why do they watch your videos? Because they like to have a nosy on me. There's nothing. These people, you know, people that I like and shit. You know what I mean? They have a little nosy and that. And I know that they like my videos, but they don't like me swearing and all that. It's difficult, isn't it? Because, like, you know what I mean, we're football people, innit? And we're all mental and that. And so it's passion. You know, when I leave here, guys, and I'm not recording a video, you know, if I go into Starbucks or something, I don't go, can I have a fucking coffee? Come, do you know what I mean? Or, hey, you're alright, yeah. You know what I mean? I don't do that, guys. It's just a part of, like, playing up, innit? And having a bit of fun and that, informal and just banter, innit? Yeah, that's why none of my videos get monetized anymore, because I'm too rude and too controversial. Right? That's why I need dkb.tv. Yeah? Yeah. I could tone it down a bit, but then it won't be the same. There's a comment coming up here that I really can't wait to read out. Anyway, so fingers crossed. Top two would, you know, yeah. Come on, man. Yeah, Champions League, yeah, but we'll leave that for now. Paul Lee says, this is the comment here. Say, can we have a video about Can we have a video about who is the LFC dentist and how does he or she get the player's teeth so fucking white? Firmino's teeth. I'm writing that down, man. I'm writing that down. Firmino's teeth. Now the thing is, right? You as a fan, you aren't allowed to mock any Liverpool player, even if they're brilliant. You know what I mean? Even if they're shit or even if they're fantastic, it doesn't matter. In fact, it's even more unacceptable to even mention Firmino because he's a great player, right? But how many of you, when you're watching the game on TV, I mean, even if you're at the stadium, you'd probably see his teeth if it was the other side of the pitch. How many of you guys look at that and think that's just fucking ridiculous? Come on, man. Do you know what I mean? There's not right and wrong of having some good gnashes and getting your teeth done and all that. I grind my teeth, you know what I mean? I have to wear a gum shield in bed, not me, man. I get into bed on the night, feel like I can have a fucking fight. Seriously, I have to wear a gum shield because I grind my teeth all the time. I've done it since I was a kid. So my teeth are like this fucking big. Do you know what I mean? And, you know, if you're going to get your teeth done, at least just tone them down a bit, make them a bit more natural looking. Fucking hell. So, yeah, who's doing all that? Who's sorting that out? And could you, right, you know when you go to the dentist, I don't like going to the dentist, guys. I don't know about you, but I don't like fucking going. Right? Who likes going to the dentist? And I've got to go soon because I'm this corner here, it feels a bit dodgy, you know what I'm saying? But when he gets that thing out and starts fucking scraping it and going, oh, fucking hell, that's it, yeah, you daft cunt, you know. Oh, man, I'm put your tongue down. I'm fucking even tongue that, you know what I mean? Can't stand all that, guys. So imagine going and get all your fucking teeth done, man. Fucking hell, what a ball ache. Fuck that. I'd rather stay at home and watch Loose Women in the afternoon every day at fucking week than go to fucking dentist for 2 or 3 hours every fucking day. Oh, well, I assume that's how it's done. Who's the dentist? Firmino's teeth. TV rates. Yes. Good shout, Paul. I like that. I'm giving that a thumbs up. All right. Okay, Phil Hems. How much of our planned business is in the summer rests solely on CL qualification? Going by what Klopp said a few weeks back, that he has his targets but can't get them until the summer. Well, maybe it just means that he just can't get them until the summer. You know, you've got to think the January window, for example, is very difficult. We know that, unless you're Barcelona and or selling, you know. But it's players tend to be cheaper in the summer. Players, you know, are on the move in the summer. There's a lot more options in the summer. Maybe we're looking into his comments too much more there. I don't know which, specific comments they were. But in relation to the question, how much of our planned business in the summer rests solely on CL qualification, of course it affects it, doesn't it? But I don't know. I feel that the owners have backed him with the targets he's wanted, and if we haven't signed them, it's not because the money wasn't there to sign them, it's because they didn't fancy it, or the boss didn't fancy it, or it just didn't fit in with, you know, maybe someone thought, nah, Liverpool's just not my sort of cup of tea at the minute. So maybe that is something that you want to blame the owners for. But you know what I mean, I wrestle with it all, the owners, because, you know, I've been very critical of them, and like I say, most of that is in relation to how much bothered they are about us, yeah. But I honestly, I can't think of one example where the money has not been there to compete with the play. And we've made some, you know, some boss signings, I think, recently. You know, like before these were in town, you know, Liverpool. If you think back to the times when like Liverpool signed Jermaine Pennant and people like that, and we missed out on was it a Portuguese winger? I can't remember, and people like Dani Alves, and you know, a lot of these developments back then, or the lack of them, was Liverpool are not pushing through this deal because of $500,000 or $1 million or maybe $3 million, which back then was maybe a bit more than today. But it always seemed to be that we missed out on these certain targets. So the manager at the time, which would probably have been Rafa, I can't remember, or Houllier, during Houlier's time and Rafa's time, it felt very much like that. That we had a primary target, a secondary target, and then even a third target. What would that be? Tertiary, third target. That's where it'd be. And you know, Jermaine Pennant was 3 or 4 or something for that position at the time. And it always used to be like, oh, the money's not there. You know, they won't pay. They're refusing to pay an extra $1 million or something to make a deal happen. I think under this current law, there was one of those times that happened. Didn't we have this with Clint Dempsey or something like that? What was the going on there, guys? Can you remember? There was something like that, wasn't there then? Or was that age? I can't remember. And the Netherlands international, I can't remember who it was, the midfielder, but that was age, I think. I can't remember. And I remember at the time, Brendan Rodgers speaking out, criticising the owners. Luis Suarez hinted about it, and also Steven Gerrard, and it was all to do with that. But that was more to do with transfer policy, and then I think than revenue. But I can't remember the Clint Dempsey. Why we didn't get Clint Dempsey? I can't remember. I know if I go on, on the internet, so I could remember that in a minute. But just on the top of my memory, I think it was something to do. Was it to do with a bit of money? I can't remember. But did we end up doing the right things anyway? I don't know. So yeah, of course, I think that Champions League qualification and even success will, of course, influence what happens in the transfer market concerning Liverpool and the targets we can possibly attract. But we've seen clubs, you know, like I would say Manchester United maybe recently, that have not qualified for the Champions League and have still been able to attract the top talent. You know, so a lot of it's to do with the club in general, I think. So anyway, that's what I think, mate. Andrew Gold, thank you. He says all the best to you and your family, Dunk. Norton Kelly, lifetime ban? Question mark. Like Cantona got. LOL. Aguero took a swing, but it doesn't look like he even got him. I'm with you though. A couple of topics for you. Razors, are they useful? Yes, I've had a shave, you fucker. Scales, should they be reinforced? Only when I'm getting on them. Should all domestic cups in Europe be given a place in the Champions League and reduce the number of league finishers that are given places? Yes. I'm going to make a video about this. I'll do it on the podcast. So, all cups CL place instead of, what was it? Instead of league places. Yes. That, my friend Norton always comments on my vids. Norton, I think that's a great question, mate, and I would support that. And I should maybe make a video about that. I don't know because I'll be repeating myself. If we go through it, I've got a sneeze coming on, guys. I can feel it coming. I'm going to try and pretend it's not there. Fucking hell, that guy that complains about me burping, he'll be in bits. He'll be like that morning. It's not natural to sneeze at all. It's a good shout. I mean, I don't know. I would like to give. I'm going to do a video on that specifically, Norton. Definitely. Yeah, definitely. So I'm not even going to go into it now. So yeah, I'm definitely going to do a video on that. Matthew Burt, he says, can you do a video on 5-yard Henderson? Just want to hear your thoughts on his future at the club. I'm hoping he leaves because I think he's the reason why Chan is leaving. He is captain. He's guaranteed a start with Keita next season. It's a good shout, and I've touched on him quite a bit recently about his future. If you've watched Matthew, I've said in a few videos, maybe even this one, that I think he might start seeing his position a bit more threatened. I don't think he's going to be as solid, guaranteed starter in the team as he may think. He may still be for a while, but I just have this feeling, this hunch that, you know, with additions that he may then find himself being used a little bit more less, which is a bit difficult when he's the captain. And also, I don't think the manager will try and get rid of him, but then the player could become a bit, you know, I might look for a move somewhere else. Although, would a player of like Henderson really want to go and play for someone else on the deal he's got at Liverpool and the importance that he has in the squad, you know, and the chance of success and picking up medals, even if he just contribute to something here and there. So I do think that Henderson is a topic for discussion or to monitor, I think, especially next season and beyond. So yeah, we might do a video on that. I do keep mentioning it though, so that's why I'm not thinking I should do that yet. Liverpool girl, he says, on a side note, don't take care of yourself and your family first, sort what you have to, and we'll see you back on KopTalk soon. Thank you, mate. I'm here. And you guys, you got your comments that you guys make, whether it's supportive comments like that or just general comments, and I really love making the videos. I love it. You guys are the best, and it really does make a difference. And you know, I remember I was involved with a girl a while back, and she was like, why? I'd say things like, you know, I really like getting on there and talking to people, and I was like, they give me so much support. I'm thinking back, you know, like, you know, when my mum died and stuff like that, you guys were like, you know, you were just there for me. And I always thought, you know, I would say like, these people are complete strangers. I don't know any of these people, and they support me and they offer support, and you know, they become members, or they support a crowdfunder, or they join DKB.TV where they can. You know, people are generally supportive, and it's nice when someone says, "Hey, look, you know, I like your content. Don't always agree with you or whatever, but you should do DKB and all that. You know, dunk those best." And this person couldn't get their head around why I was bothered about complete strangers on the internet, and it is nothing to do with money. I can assure you that. Fucking definitely not. It's true. It's true. I have 2 Facebook accounts. I have a personal one, which has got my kids on and my family, right? Hardly anyone on it. I've kept that because I have, you know, like when I've put photos on in the past of the kids over the years, you know, when it comes around and it reminds you, it'll say, this is from 5 years ago, 6 years ago, 7 years ago, whatever. And there might be a little comment off my mum on it, you know, a little thumbs up or a little kiss or beautiful kids or anything, or that's my boy, you know what I mean? And it's just nice to see things like that, so I'll always keep that account. But then I've got, and there's people on there that I know, but I don't really use it, you know what I'm saying? And then I've got my work Facebook account, which is Dunk, D-U-N-K, Oldham. And it's you guys and, you know, people that follow my work and, you know, I don't want to call it that, but content or whatever. And it's just, I prefer that account. It's complete strangers, and they're just like, sometimes you guys feel like my friends more than anything, you know what I mean? So anyway, we need to man up. We stop being, you know, starting to sound a bit emo and that. I can't pronounce this name because it isn't a name, I don't think. JXSHDZN. I think we should talk about that suspiciously intriguing tweet that you removed. And I put about the agent, question mark. They're not on Kelly chipped in and went, ooh, more. And then this kid replied again, yes, I've tried to get my head around it, but I can't. I'm intrigued to know what you mean by it. Hope things start looking up for you. That was 5 days ago. I think that was last weekend. And last weekend was a bit of a, you know, I had like an interesting day and night out last Saturday, and you know me, I like my Magners, my cider, and that. You know, sometimes I need like 10 pints just to sort of like feel a bit giddy. Honestly, I can go out and have 20 pints. You know what I'm saying? I know it's mental, it's crazy, and that of course bloats you out, and you're like, fucking hell, you know. So me and my mate went out. And we were like, you know what, we'll just down the vodka. So we started first drink in the afternoon, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, vodka and coke. And not vodka and coke like you think, like that, like you get in England or something. We had these big glasses like this, huge glass like that. I can't explain how big that is, right? Literally a huge glass. And they just poured a bottle in. That's what they do out here. They don't, and it's smirked off, I think it was. I don't think it, we prefer Absolute, but they don't have it, right? Getting technical. It's not local vodka, it's the real deal. And literally half a pint of vodka, really. And it took 2 bottles of Coke or Pepsi or whatever, them little small bottles, to fill their glass. You know, actually you couldn't get all 2 in, 1.5 maybe. And we just drunk that, you know, so I was absolutely wankered. by 8 o'clock, right? Because we go to the karaoke bar and see our friends and that. So that was like 3 till 8 or something, and that's all we had. And we were like, when we were sat where we were like so pissed, we were like, this is the way forward. Do you know what I mean? Because this is just brilliant. You know, we had a good time. But the downside to that is that you know, you get very drunk. And when I got home that night, the day didn't end on a great. You know, I fell out with someone that's, you know, dear to me. That's all right. It's resolved. No big deal. You know what I mean? We're just one of them stupid fucking drink affected sort of things, you know, like you're pissed, and you know when someone's, you know, you just have that, you know what you like when you've had a drink, and you're like, fuck. So I was in an even worse mood then, and I was laid in bed, blasting my tunes out at 4 in the morning, I think 3 in the morning, and I did put a tweet out, because, you know what I mean, I put a tweet out about an agent concerning a Liverpool player, that I think is, I just don't trust him. And it's sometimes like, people say stuff to me. Like I think I even said in this video, you know, I spoke to someone, you know, a friend, contact or whatever, recently, and they were asking me if I'd heard something. Do you remember that? I'm sure I mentioned it in this video. So sometimes you get little bits of info and stuff like that. And sometimes people will say to you, don't say anything. And it's really difficult. Do you know what I mean? It's really difficult. That's why I'd never be a Twitter ITK, because I can't, you know, this is what makes me laugh about these people, because they claim to know everything. And I've done this like for 20 years, and you build up a network of sources and people that you consider trustworthy or whatever. And you'll get to old information sometimes. And then sometimes you'll say, you can't say anything. And it's so fucking difficult when that happens. And that happens, whether you believe it or not, that happens to some of the journalists that you guys sometimes say, oh, don't, you know, fucking journalists. You know, I've had journalists from the mainstream media, the likes of the Mirror and that, and they've spoke to me and they've said this, you know, I've been told this, but I can't publish it. And they've actually come through me and said, you know, can you get that out? That, you know, it's going back a few years, but you know, it does happen, and it's very difficult. And because I were in a very good mood, and because I'd had probably about 2 bottles of vodka, you know, I was like, I go on Twitter, you know what I mean, to release sometimes, and I did put a tweet out saying, I can't remember what I said. I don't know. I don't want to talk about it, but it was about an agent that I think is. I know he represents a Liverpool player, and he's a very good Liverpool player, and I think we're going to see speculation about him. And I think, as usual, people will say, "Oh, that's the typical press for you," especially in Spain, maybe, and they maybe won't think of the journalist as being behind it, if that makes sense. And I don't like you guys to get mugged off sometimes. So it's just stuff I hear occasionally, you know. It's just stuff I hear occasionally, and I'm sure you've worked out. But I don't comment in the video section, please, if you think I know who I'm talking about. So yeah, that's what we'll talk about for now regarding that. Please don't let me. If I go out, if you're on Twitter, right? Because I'm always on Twitter. If I go out, right, and I say, hey, I'm going out for a few, will you please remind me not to have vodka? Please, just say no, don't. Just stick with the Magners, son. Get yourself some, you know, Magners, and get yourself a burger and chips, and get yourself home. You know what I'm saying? All right. Don't let me have fucking. You know what I mean? I was very outspoken that last week. Last weekend. Don't know why I'm laughing. I don't know why I'm laughing at all. Just daft, isn't it? It's just daft. It was a suspiciously intriguing tweet, and I did delete it when I think I deleted it when I woke up. I do that on a Sunday morning sometimes. I look at my tweets and I go, oh, fuck, did I really say that? So I've decided now I'm going to stop going out with my phone. I'm going to stop going out with my phone. I've got a little Nokia 3310. You know, the old Nokia, it's not it's over there. I'm not getting out of my fucking ass, my chair to go off my ass to show you. You're not a Nokia 3310. Well, they relaunched it recently. And when I go out next time, I'm taking that, and you know, put the SIM in that. It's got no apps on it or anything. You can only text, and you can only call and receive calls, etc. Yeah, basic phone, not smartphone, right? Because then I can't tweet when I'm angry. Because the last time, I remember as well, a few months back when David Moores got, got hurt, didn't he? You know, he got robbed and stuff. And I was, actually it might have been a year ago, so it will have been, maybe even longer. And I remember being very upset about it when I was out, you know, that nobody gave a fuck about him and that, you know, and I was just a bit emo. I don't know. I never get like that normally, guys. It's fucking vodka, I'm telling you. If you're a young lad or lass watching this video, stay off the fucking vodka, man. Right? Just fucking leave it. Or maybe in England it's alright, because it's probably, you know, like, I don't know, £2 a shot or something for something like that. I don't know. But out here, it's... so don't ever let me do that again. I didn't have an hangover though, which is good. Sam Milne says, give us a cooking video on how to make those fish and chips. Hey, get on my Instagram. Instagram.com Duncan Oldham, right? And you'll see my fish and chips on there. I do homemade fish and chips, guys. Fuck, mate, I am chef fucking Dunk, man. I'm telling you. You should have seen me Sunday dinner I did yesterday. I'm fucking Yorkshire fucking pudding like that. My roast potatoes work great though. The taste is nice, but it just looked a bit too dark. You know what I mean? I'll work on them for next weekend, alright? I'd love to do a cooking channel, mate. Like, you know, like totally like mental. You know, like proper studio, you know, like with a proper kitchen and that. I've got another kitchen. I could do it in there, you know, get all the cameras set up, nice backdrop and that. And instead of going like, you know, get your potatoes and cut them, slice them, like, yeah, get your spuds, lads, you know, cut fuck out of them, throw them in a fucking pan. You know what I mean? Something like that. Bit of an alternative chef. What do you think? Here we go. Liverpool girl again. He says that the FA killed the FA Cup themselves when they made Man U, who were defending the champions, playing the World Cup, who were the defending champions, playing the World Club Championship back in 1999. That's what I thought it was. And they missed the third round, so missed the whole tournament by default. All in hopes of boosting their World Cup chances. I love the FA Cup. It used to be a whole day on BBC, but greed took over and they killed it ever since. So fucking true, man. Disgraceful. Disgraceful, that, what happened there. If Liverpool pulled out in that tournament to take, I would go fucking crazy, honestly, crazy. And I don't know, guys. You know, it's just we've got to. I know that the modern day fan is only bothered about the Champions League and the fucking the Premier League. The big, you know, they're just tuned in and they're falling. You know, we saw a commercial the other day on TV for some fucking game like Watford versus Everton or something. I can't remember what it was. And they've got all these, like, you know, on-screen graphics, a trailer for that game. So it was some fixture. It was like fucking woo, be fucking woo, right? And they've got the, you know, like one player from each team stood there like that, and they'll be like, yeah. And the music all around it, dun, 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 fucking dun. You know, and it's like, fuck off, man. Do you know what I mean? It's not fucking Liverpool versus Man United or Liverpool versus Everton. You know, or Everton versus Man United, or Tottenham Arsenal. It was some fucking wank. It's like trying to make it out to be exciting. But yeah, that's the modern day fans for you. We've got to stay fucking... You have got... We're going to launch Church of Dunk or something. And we're going to have to do it, guys. And we're going to have to stick to this. And I think fans from most clubs are still... I think fans of most clubs still care about the FA Cup. And those that don't need fucking shooting. Oh, you can't say shooting, can you? With a pea shooter, slap him with a fish, right? Because it's just fucking wrong. It's wrong. It breaks my heart. We crash out in the FA Cup and you'll see someone go, maybe that's a blessing in disguise. I want to fucking strangle them. Do you not feel like that when you see that? Or when it's FA Cup weekend and we're not playing, and I've seen these comments from our fans, not many, but I've seen them, and they'll say, well, you know, at least it's given us a weekend to concentrate on the next game. You're like, fuck off, this is the whole point of competing and competition. I don't give a fuck what it is. Do you know what I mean? I don't care what the trophy, I want to win it. And the FA Cup to me is fantastic. I fucking still love it, and I'm old school to the fucking death, man. I'm telling you. Ryan G says, hope you're okay. Dunk might be an Arsenal fan, but I've always enjoyed your videos on here. Don't you worry about me, Ryan. Fucking hell, you want to worry about Arsenal, man. I'm fucking telling you. What has happened to your fucking great club? And I'll say they're a great club, guys, because you know what I mean? I'm respectful to our visiting fans and friends here. But I watched that game yesterday, Ryan, bits of it. Did I watch all? Yeah, bits of it. I was a bit busy. Can't go into that. I was cooking my Sunday dinner. And... I don't know. I just thought that Arsenal them players just really, like, to me, are the complete opposite of what I want to see in players, if that makes sense. I don't know if anyone else is agreeing with me about this, but I don't know. I can imagine the old school Arsenal boys, you know, them that just, you know, when they were dominant in the Premier League or whatever, you know, I can imagine them being, you know, fucking fuming. It must be really difficult because, to me, I don't know if this is fair. You know, maybe they've given up playing for Wenger or not. I know people blame him, and he has to take some responsibility. But you know what, guys, it's just fucking wrong. They're like them sort of players that we don't want, innit? You know what I mean? You look at them and go, yeah, he's a classy player or whatever. But these fucking ponces that are not, they're only bothered about themselves and how good they look. And I just think that the Arsenal team is riddled with that, honestly. And I'm not digging your club out, mate, honestly. And nothing will give me great satisfaction than seeing Arsenal doing well. I like Arsenal. I ain't got a problem with them. I've got a couple of, you know, friends that support Arsenal. Don't want them to be successful, because that would take success away from Liverpool, if you know what I mean. But I just don't understand what's going wrong at Arsenal. But Ryan, thank you, mate, and I really appreciate the fact that you watch my content. I really do. Thank you, brother. Third mate says, hope you're okay. What about the rumour Salah's buyout clause is only 58 million? Or the European Super League being suggested? I haven't seen anything to do with the buyout clause. If anyone can link me to anything, or I can go and Google it. I suppose I could write it down and go and research it myself. I don't know who's making those claims. Salah buyout 58 million? That can't be true, surely. So I can't answer that, mate. The European Super League just doesn't interest me. I think the best thing about when you play Barcelona, for example, or Juventus, or Inter Milan, or AC Milan, Bayern Munich, or whatever, these big European clubs, those sort of fixtures tend to come round not very often, and I think that's what makes them special. You know, it's like, fuck me, you know, we're playing Barcelona at Anfield or something like that, or at the Nou Camp or whatever, and it makes it special because it doesn't happen that often. But if it becomes a European Super League, it's then going to just become. It would take for me. It would become boring. I swear to God, it would. It'd just become boring. It'd be no different than playing Wigan each week, or, you know, every other fucking week or something. It wouldn't do anything for me. Does anyone agree with me on that? You know, I like it as it is. I agree with, I think it was Norton Money that was saying earlier. Where's the comment? I can't find it. There it is. Norton, where he was saying, should all domestic cups in Europe be given a place in the Champions League and reduce the number of league finishers that are given places? That's the changes that I'd like to see the Champions League. And you know, the UEFA Cup used to be a great cup, and the Europa League now is just complete dire. Why should teams that should drop into that and stuff? I just don't get it. So I'd like to see it shaken up, the existing format, but a European Super League, nah, it doesn't do it for me. And I think it's so snobbish as well, because yeah, there are certain fixtures that we go, oh, we're playing Palace at the weekend, ooh, fucking whoop. But we still have to, we have a responsibility to the rest of the league. And I know these games will still continue or whatever, but for me, it's just the big clubs are only bothered about getting richer and richer and richer. And to me, including Liverpool, it just fucking stinks. It stinks. You know, you look down them leagues, you know, the leagues, the Championship, Division 1, 2, etc., League 1, League 2, whatever the fuck you want to call them. And you just, I don't know, you just, them clubs, they're all struggling, and it's what football's about. And if you're one of them fans that just can't look outside the Premier League and you don't give a fuck about Rotherham or Barnsley or, you know, Leyton Orient or whatever, I don't think that makes you a really good person. Honestly, I don't. I'm not saying you have to, like, you know, care about another club or anything, but you know, you have to think about your roots sometimes, guys. And the whole point of it all is that them other divisions, you know, if it's only an elite group of clubs, what is the fucking point? What is the point? You know, so I oppose any changes to shit like that. I'd rather have fixed the other stuff. David Shenton, hope everything is okay. Don't keep your chin up, bud. Which one? If you need to disappear for a while to sort shit out, just do it. Real life comes first always. You never walk alone. Thank you, Dave. I did disappear for a few days. You know, I didn't. You know, I'm all right. Things are all right. Aidan Cranston, there's my boy right there. He's a good lad. I know his name. He always chips in. All right, Dunk. As soon as I saw the stubble, I knew something must be going on. It's true, guys. If you see me with the stubble, man, I'm usually fucking depressed. Seriously. I was wondering what you thought about the Ox. We paid a lot of money for him, but he doesn't seem to have played that much. Also, do you think we will see Brendan managing the Premier League anytime soon? I'd like to see Brendan Rodgers in the Premier League. I really, really would. I actually feel a bit bad about Brendan Rodgers. I think that people got a bit, to on his case. I didn't support the appointment. I didn't really, I don't know. Because he was a rookie, it felt like we were schooling him. We were giving him, we were schooling him. That's how it felt to me. And I remember saying, you remember this at the time, to replace a gamble, Dalglish with a gamble, what was the point, and it felt like we were schooling him. And I think that where we were at the time, we didn't need that. We didn't need a student, we needed an experienced manager. And I think that it came too soon for him. And I think that I want to see Brendan Rodgers succeed. I really do. And I hope he gets a decent club in the Premier League. And I hope he shuts some people up, to be honest. And I hope that he's learnt his lesson with the way that he handled the media as well, because I don't think he was very good. And sometimes he came across as a bit silly, didn't he? Do you know what I mean? Deluded Brendan and that. But I would love to see him in the Premier League. I really, really would. And the original question was Ox. Yeah, I mean, we did pay a lot of money for him, and his attitude seems fantastic. As Brendan would say himself, I think we paid a lot of money for him, but his attitude is fantastic. Unfortunately, I can't make my mind up, and it's too soon. I think that 1 minute I look at him and I think, yeah, fucking great. I really like this boy. But you can't like someone just because they handle the media well and because they speak up for the mates or whatever. He's certainly a likable lad, and I didn't think that he was going to be like that. I always thought he was a bit of a. I thought his attitude was just a bit of a typical Premier League footballer and stuff. Do you know what I mean? But I don't think that's the case. So, but it is a squad game, and if we talk about the FA Cup and other things, and maybe them players are used more in those. I don't know. It's down to him, really, isn't it? But I do like him. I do like him, and I hope he's all right. But it was a weird purchase, I thought at the time, and I would rather have seen the money going, into the defence at the time. Whatever. I think we're nearly finished, guys. Peter McPete says, what about Bobby Firmino's contract with it running out in 2020? Are we going to have another Emre Can situation on our hands? I think that we may see some positive news on that very soon. I would like to think we'll see some news on that before the season ends. Don't know. But it sounds positive at the moment. You've always got to add that bit. Because then months later, if something goes wrong, people go, you said, but at the moment, I think things will be all right there, Pete. Chris Lazaro, hope you're okay, mate. Take care. Thank you, Chris. Debs, chin up dunk. Which one? Things will get better soon. Hope all works for you soon. Keep up the great content. Thank you. We need some more girls on here, don't we? Yeah, that's what I like. I like a bit of banter with the girls. I really like that. I really do. So thank you. Wayne Woodley, hi mate, hope everything works out for you. I agree. If he has hit him, we're talking about Aguero here, it wasn't hard enough, and if it had happened outside of football on the street, you would be chinning everyone that came near you. Again, don't hope everything works out for you, mate. You deserve it. Thank you, Wayne. Yeah, that I was talking about the Aguero thing there, with that incident on the pitch. I think it's quite terrifying that as you're a player, especially when all them people pulling and fucking jostling with you. And that's if that's even your own supporters, they all want a selfie and grab you and fucking. If you watch the next time there's a pitch invasion and the home fans or whatever go to their own players, just watch the players, how apprehensive they look. It's fucking scary. I mean, I get that sort of thing all the time when I go out, you know what I mean, with chicks to see me down at resort and that, and fucking pulling me around and wanting a selfie. It's fucking scary, guys, you know what I'm saying? Thanks, Wayne. Martin, we've got 2 more comments on it. He says, talk about your thoughts on Klopp and his touchline antics. I'm hearing some fans are getting a bit wound up by him. Fuck him. In particular when he has a go at the fans and the atmosphere isn't great. Some of the fans are saying the atmosphere is the way it is sometimes because of ticket issue prices, etc. And so they want Klopp to wind his neck in when it comes to atmosphere. This is a minority from what I can gather, but I'd like to know what you think. Actually, on that specific instant, I was thinking about this yesterday, and I can't remember why. Or maybe it wasn't. Maybe it was it was when Liverpool played, and I saw some fans leaving. A couple of minutes to go, And Klopp once criticised them, didn't he? Saying that it was the wrong thing to do. And I would, you know, like, I know he's the manager and I've got a great deal of respect and all that, but you don't have to agree with every single thing that they say, you know. And if you're one of these people that won't let someone have an opinion because it goes against someone that you fucking idolise or whatever, and I think that makes you a lunatic. Right, because I think what Klopp said there was wrong. It's all very well and good to say, don't leave the stadium, you know, we need you to the 90th minute. And it's all, that sounds fantastic, you know what I mean? And some people might want that medal and all that. But then people that are leaving early, they're not doing because they don't support the club, right? They're leaving early because they've got to fucking get home. And I've been in that position myself. And when you've got a 3-hour drive ahead of you, unless you get out of that stadium quick, you can get stuck around fucking Anfield for hours. Right, literally. So it's all very well to criticise people when you're like walking off into the comfort of a nice warm fucking office or room or, you know, environment, and you can have a tipple and a bite to eat, and you've got a police escort out of the fucking ground and home, and you know, and you're sat in your lounge with your missus, you know, watching fucking Saturday night TV while supporters are stuck on a motorway somewhere in a tailback and might not get home till midnight, and some of them not even fucking later. So that pisses me off. I've got to be honest. That attitude, not just from Klopp, just from anyone, because, you know, you've got to get out there, you've got to get in your car, you've got to get off. You might have a train to catch. It's fucking easy to sit there, you know, from some smug sort of fucking position and criticise people for that. So I don't like that, right? So he has to go at the fans when the atmosphere isn't great. Mourinho's doing the same thing at Manchester United, and this is because poor people don't go to football anymore, guys. They don't. We might think we're poor when we go to these games. We might think we're from a working class background, or we are working class background still, rather than we're from. But, you know, some people will go to them games and they'll still believe they're working class. Do you know what I mean? I know lads particular, lads, I don't know any girls, lads, I know a few girls, but in the context I'm talking, that were die-hard football supporters in the 70s and 80s, and went and saw their team, whichever team it was, not just Liverpool, I'm still thinking about family that used to go and see Leeds United and that, they never missed a fucking game, never missed a game, absolute die-hard, priced out of the game. They can't afford that. I seen a kid today on that Arsenal Fan TV, I retweeted it, Duncan Oldham on Twitter if you go and have a look. One of them rants, you know, he was ranting away saying, oh, I've been to this fucking cup final, it cost me £200 fucking pound. Bring my kids to this cup fucking fair. £200. Who the fuck that is working class can produce £200 to go to a cup final? Fuck right off, right? So, and those days of me shelling out £200 to go and see millionaires run around kicking a bag of wind around that don't give a fuck about me and the rest of the people around me, they're finished, right? I'll go to the football if it suits me or whatever, but nah, fuck that shit. So what happens is now, you poor people, and I'm not saying this to be mean or anything, I genuinely think that it's a different kind of person that goes to the game. Now there's people that therefore could be reversed into an insult to wealthy people. That's basically saying, oh, so if you're wealthy then, Dunk, that means you can't sing or you can't be bothered. No, not at all. Absolutely not at all. But I think the days have gone where I believe that poor, middle class, working class, wealthy, executive box, whatever, you can be passionate as fuck, right? You can be passionate as fuck, right? But who, you know, the guys that used to go and get pissed in the pub and then go in the stadium and all stand together and all that, that's all gone. That's what's killed the fucking game. The all-seaters killed the game. Do you know what I mean? Because there's no atmosphere. Sit down. You know yourself. Whatever your level of passion, whatever your age, probably the younger you are, you're like, fuck on, you know. But you can't do that when you're in a Ponzi environment or something. You just fucking can't. And also, and I picked this point up on the radio the other day, someone was saying that, because they were talking about Manchester United, you know, their atmosphere, you know, someone made a point and said, well, that's sometimes now men are going with their girlfriends and stuff like that, or girls are going with their boyfriends, and maybe, you know, if you take your chick, say, for example, from a man's point of view, maybe you're going to behave yourself a bit more than if you go with Mad fucking Mark, do you know what I mean? Mad Mark, and have a few beers and go fucking showing off, and you might be 25, 35, 45, even 55, and still acting like a fucking 15-year-old when you're with your mate, but when you're with your chick, you might be a bit more, all right, darling, all right, yeah. Do you know what I mean, guys? So it's a combination of, I think, of the type of fan that goes to the games now, right? It's insulting to say that, oh, it's the out-of-town supporters that have killed it. What a load of fucking shit. Of course there's an element of, what is it? Is this even still recording after all this time? Jesus. Of course, there's an element of, you know, a day tripper, if you like, because to some people it's a big deal. They might spend thousands of fucking pounds to go to their first game or something, and if they want to take a couple of pictures at the game, let them fucking take them. Fuck it, that's one of the things that pisses me right off. Yeah, you don't want someone up and down like all throughout the entire fucking game taking pictures. My opinion is, if you're going to have a picture at Anfield and you're a day tripper, you do it before the game or after the game. Probably before the game, you know, maybe after the game, I don't know, it doesn't really matter, because you've got a nice green, you know, nothing behind you, you know, they've got the pitch behind you, you're not getting in with the way of anyone because everyone's stood up and having a fucking, you know, fucking around on the phone or having a drink. Just do it then, you know, don't do it in the middle of a fucking game, you know. Then the argument is, oh, people are on the phones all the time. Well, maybe people are texting their mates and going, oh, we're fucking winning, blah, blah, blah. Do you know what I mean? It's just everyone is getting blamed for all these different fucking things that's affecting the game. And in my opinion, it's because poor people can't afford to go anymore, and poor people have got fuck all else to sing about than going to footy. That's what I think it is. More wealthy people go to the football now, better off people, so it's a different class, I think. And what was the other thing I was going to say? You know, all-seater stadium and the limitations that you can't just go, all right, lads, yeah, you know, like 20 of us all get together and do this. That's what I fucking think, yeah. So I'm very passionate about that one, can you tell? So should this... Right, but the question is, you know, they want Klopp to wind his neck in when it comes to the atmosphere. No, you should still be able to fucking put some effort in, because if you notice, the fans will put the effort in when it's Manchester United, when it's Everton, when it's Chelsea, right? They'll do that. When it's them sort of fixtures, they'll fucking... when it's Crystal Palace or West Ham, it's like, I should fucking get on with it. It's like a fucking morgue, innit? But there you go. Yeah, I've just got a notification come through. So yeah, let me know your thoughts on that one, guys. Right, okay. Chris McCambridge, thanks for that, Martin. He says, absolutely, I think he's talking about Aguero. Will Grigg, who's one of ours, if I don't say so myself. Aguero was only defending himself at the end. Any normal human would react the same way. And then he says, you could spill the beans on the next high-profile player you said was probably going to leave. Not that we don't know who it is, but where it came from, LOL. No, because I don't know anything, man. I don't want to get, you know what I mean? I'm just an observer and commentator. That's it. I don't know anything about all like that. I just don't trust some agents, that's all. I just don't trust, you know, I don't know. Sometimes I think some agents are out for them. Well, it's a stupid thing to say, innit? I think sometimes agents are out for themselves. But I've just got that feeling about something, that's all. Just stuff you hear and what they're doing behind the scenes and all that. And maybe even the clients don't know about it, you know what I'm saying? I think this is the last comment you'll be glad to know. Sweeney says, I'd rather we was interested in the FA Cup. Realistically, we will win that over the Champions League. So you're right, mate. Exactly. But the thing is, the money in the Champions League is far more superior than the FA Cup, and that's what it's all about today. You know. But anyway, in the end, Klopp seemed to take it seriously, didn't he? At the start of this competition, or whenever it was, I can't remember. I remember making a video fucking moaning about something. I think I was moaning about a couple of the boys that were being given time off and that. But, you know, anyway... Fuck it. I've enjoyed making this video. I don't know about you guys. Alright, okay. Okay. Not really that interested. Right, I'm off. Right, so DKB.TV. I'm going to do some of these videos for you guys, but I might have to wait till tomorrow now because this is a very long video and it's 1:30 and I've got other things I need to do. I must, what's the word? I must do DKB.TV and the KopTalk podcast today, otherwise they'll be lynching me. They're good people, but they're not going to have the piss taken, you know what I mean? And I haven't been lazy. I'm just like, my head hasn't been there really recently, but I feel alright now. As you gathered, you know, you can see that. Right. Well, I hope you enjoyed that video. If you still fucking watch, are you still watching? Did you watch it right to the end? Let me know if you watched it to the end. Yeah, this is where I get nothing done, you see. Hey, look at that, 1.5 hours long. That's fucking amazing. This must be one of the longest videos I've ever done. I do remember doing one about FSG, about FSG once, in favour of them, saying that, you know, everyone had let them down. Every single fucking person that employed had let them down at some point. Could someone remind me what the comments were that FS John Henry said, please? I did read them as well, but my head's, you know, I don't know. I actually saw some comments that he made at, he was in an event, a sporting event, and they were talking about some shiz, I can't remember. Let me know, guys, because that might give me something to talk about as well. All right, thanks for your support. You know I love you, and you know, they say on YouTube to make your videos 3 minutes long to retain your audience and increase subscribers. I couldn't give a fuck how many people watch my videos. I just want to talk to you guys, and you guys are like family to me, and that's all that matters. So I'm off now. I'm going to go and put kettle on. Well, I'm not actually, because I tell you what, right, here's a story for you. I bought one of these instant hot water things. Yeah, you just press click on the top, right? It takes 40 seconds and it chucks out instant water, hot water. Fucking great. And it goes in my cup. Look, I've got my cup there. It says I'm not a mug. Speak to you soon, guys. Hooray.